Hey, Satanico here for Godlovescomics, and this is part 5 of Alan Moore's Miracleman, and the second half of The Red King. So this is the last page that we saw in the previous reading, and this is essentially Miracleman dispatching of Gargunza's German thugs, who were not actually trying to kill him. They were just out to clean up his body after it would have been obliterated by the abomination that Gargunza sarcastically dubbed Miracle Dog, which was, like Miracleman, some sort of amalgamation of alien DNA and, genetic splicing. And actually Mike Moran, who would have been just ripped to shreds, much like Evelyn Cream was ripped to shreds, was able to sort out a way in which to kill Miracle Dog. And then after an hour moratorium on his powers, he was able to turn into Miracleman, and here you see the results. So that sets up the following reading from that gruesome page. And this third guy is just looking on, hoping for the best. Maybe he will be spared. But the look in Moran's eyes is pretty blank, pretty vacant, and a rather stoic sort of look, and pretty frightening in the same way that Johnny Bates is pretty frightening. Are very frightening. 40 years. 40 years we have waited for you, for the first of the blonde gods that would replace us. Overman, you have come at last. Yes, and you can go now. Suggests that he was going to let him go, but of course not. Right through his chest with just his finger. I do not wish to inherit the world. In it there are only two things that I desire. One is my wife. The other is you. You, Gargunza. You. You who manipulated my life, who abducted my lover, who attempted to kill me, who threatened to harm my unborn child. Oh, Gargunza. Gargunza, Gargunza, Gargunza. I begin to move fast and hard through this fragile place, this paper world men live in. The house of my enemy has bright lights. I see them through the brittle trees. I'm coming, old man. I'm coming. And a guard with just a rifle is not going to stop him. In fact, just tears right through him like he's paper. Red jewels crawl down my arms, across my face, propelled by the slipstream. I go up. I flex my back so that the stars and trees flip over. I come down. Gunther, where are you? What is it? Is it an earthquake? Why is everything shaking? Sadly, you see the head of the jaguar that was killed by the Miracle Dog just in the prior episode. Oops. It's First time I've done that recently. You start to speak your override word almost by reflex. But then my hand is about your throat, and I am crushing your larynx, and you can't say anything at all. I believe the word is abraxas. It's the override word to turn him back into Mike Moran. Too late. He knows his secrets now. You're the thing that made me, coveting my power, longing to be as I was. Did you ever understand that which you thirsted after? Ever comprehend what you had created? I think not. Come up with me, and I will show you all that you wish for. I will show you what it is to be as I am. I will show you the world that you have lost. We are in the upper stories of the sky now. The air is almost too thin to breathe, and the frost etches petrified ferns on your spectacles. Can you still see? Can you still see the planet? How big it is? Can you still see the scale I live on? Gargunza, can you see how small you have always been? The heat drains from your body. Your eyes cloud, barely conscious, fixed upon the swirling blue giant below. Is this what you wanted then? To have all the world spread beneath you? To know what gods know? These wishes are small and easily satisfied. You are my creator, almost my father, and I grant them freely as my parting gift. Goodbye, Gargunza. Goodbye. Lifts him overhead, just one final sort of look of recognition or confusion, perhaps, and zoom. Starlight, star bright, first star that I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might, have the wish I wish tonight. And he is absolutely incinerated upon re-entering the atmosphere at that incredible speed. And just patak hits the ground as a skull. Not even recognizable as a human skull there, as far as I can tell. Strange perspective. But a very fitting fate for Gargunza. Wake up. Wake up now. It's time. Time. Whoa. Oh. Those initial words in the kind of starburst yellow balloons suggest that this is the baby's consciousness telling her this, because this baby is quite special. Mike. The contractions are... Oh, God, Mike. And that's not a dream, so she's obviously seeing... because of the baby, there's some sort of telepathic ability there. See Mike being threatened. Of course, that is past. Oh... Ich kann nicht verschicken. Wo ist der Doktor? Ich weiß. Ich nicht. Hinaus, schnell. Sorry to any German speakers out there. Wait. Where's everybody going? Ach nein. Ich hab dich nicht verlegt. Ich war nicht schuld daran. Lass mich los. War das? Ja, die Jungfrau vom Übermensch, die Motor. Oh Gott, lauf, schnell fort. Oh shit. Hello? Look, for God's sake, I'm having a bloody baby. Oh, come on. Where is everybody? Okay, well, these were the nurses that were there to birth the baby primarily for Gargunza's sake. And they mentioned the Übermensch and that she's the mother. So obviously they're terrified. And terrified also at what's been happening outside, where everybody has been torn to pieces. And she's finally getting a realization of it herself. What the hell am I going to do? Scenes from the Nativity. And Miracleman on essentially as if a lighted effervescent cross, lowering himself to the ground in a very messianic pose. Her savior also happens to be her husband, at least in some sense. Hello. Oh, Mike. Oh, God, that dog. And Gargunza. He wanted the baby. He wanted to. Shh. Don't worry, my love. Not about the dog, or Gargunza, or anyone. They can't harm you. They're gone now. All gone away. Miracleman is invulnerable and the most powerful creature on the planet at the moment, but only as long as Johnny Bates is out of commission. And that's sort of the looming worry. But I don't understand that black guy with the teeth. Where did he... Oh! Liz, contractions. They woke me up a little while ago. They feel pretty strong. How often? Every few minutes. It shouldn't be that fast, should it? Not right away. Don't worry. Everything's fine. We'll find somewhere around here to deliver it. No, not around here. I don't want to have my baby in this place. Can't we go somewhere else? I don't see how. If I were to carry you, it would be too cold and uncomfortable. You'd probably freeze before I... Wait a minute. This will do. Get in. A truck, but I meant... Just get in, start the engine, turn on the heater on full. And don't forget your seatbelt. Mike, I don't think this is a sort of transport I need. It's not. Take the handbrake off. Well, okay, but I don't... Mike, we're moving. Are you doing that? Don't go too fast. I said don't go too fast. I'm getting ready to have the baby up here, and I'm supposed to avoid sudden shocks. They're not good for me. Jesus. So, moving at some sort of incredible speed, and very clever. Unlike, say, Superman, who would just fly a pregnant Lois Lane across the sky, freeze her to death. Alan Moore has remedied that situation. Even flying through a flock of flamingos, which you rarely see in the sky. And she's laughing. Mike, you said Gargunza was gone. What did you do to him? I threw him at a planet. Oh. Fair enough. Interlude. St. Crispin's Hospital for the Mentally Ill Children's Ward. Okay, this will be where Johnny Bates is located. First of 5 cuckoos we must inspect is within, brother. Does this destabilize your psychochemic balance? No. Merely wish this done in hindwards, and we home with our wives. Let us enter. Hello, miss. We are work for Air Force. We wish to see Johnny Bates. What? No. No visitors, just now, love. Not unless you've got some identification. Yes. Yes, identification is here. Look. You do not see pencil? You see identification for Air Force. Now, tell us that we can enter. Oh, well, that all seems to be in order. Please go right in. Royal Air Force. Okay. The old Jedi mind trick. Observe. Withdrawal of the eye. Change shock has left child in HRUMU trance state. We must determine if it is a permanent, if child is insensitive to external stimuli. Then let us go inside. Child Bates, we are come to talk with you. We wish information of your changed self. Is he still viable in these spaces? It is useless. No response. The HRUMU trance must be severe. There's no indication of this change, self. Lacking evidence, we must assume shock has destroyed mind pivots. He is harmless. Let us leave. Now what the hell were they? Good question. Given their fragmented syntax, were they aliens? Perhaps trying to protect the world from Johnny Bates. Mike, I think it's coming. Is the head engaged yet? Can you see the... Yes, I can see the fontanelle. And it doesn't feel as if the cord's tangled. Just keep breathing. What do you think? I'm going to stop? I'm not. Oh, Mike, it hurts. I can't do this. Not on my own. I'm not strong enough. Oh, God. You're doing fine. Don't talk or make any noise. Just take a deep breath and push again. Oh, Christ. Somebody just stop it. Her upper body tries to scrabble backwards, away from the pain. I cannot remove between her legs the soft skull pulses, gray with mucus. Is this it, Gargunza? Is this what all those years were for? Liz told me about the aliens. Is this what they crossed the cold eternity to die for? Dropping out of a torn sky in their impossible crippled machine? She grasped, My hand then pushes it away. She swears at me for my stupidity, then pulls me close and says she's sorry, her voice a ragged whisper. The pain comes again, a great shattering wave. Is this a reason for all those long nights picking amongst the bones of angels for a clue to their divinity? All that work? All that effort? She pushes. A tight silence ends in a sob, then breaks quickly, desperately, like a beached mermaid. The pain comes again, an earth tremor rippling out of her molten core. Is this what we live for, you and me, Liz? Our parents, their parents? Moran's mother said, Michael, and squeezed his hand. He squeezed back, waiting for her to continue. Her hand grew gradually colder. Her body is shuddering. Her fingers clenched tight around mine as if she's frightened of falling off the world. The pain gets as bad as it possibly can get, and then it gets worse. Death, juxtaposed with new life. Fairly typical motif. If you hadn't chosen Moran's name from that list of Air Force orphans, if the kidnapping had gone wrong, all these things that did or did not happen, all leading here to now to the singular event. It's coming now. Did it feel like this when you took the first cell scrapings? Did it feel like this as you watched it divide and replicate, as you hauled me dripping from the tank? The head emerges, a face drawn on a fist. My eyes cannot grasp the fact of it. A head protruding from inside of her. It looks so hideous, beautiful, absurd, awesome. But of course, this perfection is what came of all the chaos and the madness. All the lies you have wove around me have boiled down to this one truth. All the nightmares you fed me have been distilled to this single dream. Was it worth it? Worth the risk of loosing gods and monsters on the world? Worth all the blood and the violence? Yes, it was worth it. For here is blood, here is violence, redeemed by love, by this pure act of creation. You were the only loser, Gargunza. Your dreams came to nothing and were small to begin with. A worthless life extended indefinitely is yet worthless. You thought immortality was your purpose. It wasn't. This was your purpose. This was your only function. The moment swells, an organ chord deep and prolonged. Adrenaline sharpens my perceptions until each instant glitters like a diamond. Liz is moaning. Great racking sobs of relief or ecstasy. Last night I saw a unique life vanish forever. Where do they go? Where do they come from? In the careless and foggy continuum of our lives, these precious moments burn like suns. Birth, death. Reminds me of a Godfather song. These are the moments when we are real. And that's the most emotional we've seen Miracleman. Actually, teary-eyed. Liz is crying, laughing, asking, "Is she all right? Is she all right?" over and over again. Yes. Yes, she's all right. Not going to see many more vividly realistic birth scenes than that, particularly in mainstream comics. In fact, I can't think of any. Removing my glove, I snipped the umbilical cord with my thumbnail and knotted into a navel. Moments later, the placenta slides out, a marvelous life support system of glistening burgundy no longer needed. It is October 29th, 1982. Liz holds our daughter in her arms. We are together again and all the dragons are slain. Our world is safe and sane and silent. Mama. And a newborn infant can talk and knows a word it shouldn't even know. And they are shocked. Are you there yet, brother? Has your intelligence penetrated underspace? Almost, brother. This meat garment currently suffers from a cyclic blood loss, which is uncomfortable and distracting. Even so, I am almost. Ah, there. I have interfaced with an inspection drone. I am tempted to locate NHUL's lovelier bodies. But while she is elsewhere, provoking such lust would be maddening. Besides, I have other forms to inspect. I trust you'll not examine my REHR's more exotic wardrobe. Once near Antares, we copulated as whale mollusk amidst the churning methane. Worry not, brother. My drone searches only amongst quadrupedal forms. It has almost reached the 5 cuckoos, but maintaining contact is tiring, the strain upon this cheap inferior body. They are almost discernible now. The 2 males, the animal, the female. I am becoming uncomfortably warm in this body overheating. Ah, there. There, I have them. Good. Do no prolong the contact. However, the temperature of your garment is indeed rising. It's all right, I can stand it. I see them, brother. In my mind, I can see them all. Mind games. To avoid confronting their extra-normal forms unprepared, we must confirm their status before progressing. These monstrosities will only be snared by caution and stealth. Agreed. But work quickly. Which bodies do they occupy? The elder male's unaltered form is present. Therefore, his changed self is currently dominant. The exploded thing obviously remains constant, as does the changed self of Child Bates. The animal's changed self is present, and the female's. The exploded thing, I assume, is the miracle dog. Yes, I'm not sure. That is enough. We need no more information. Log a command with the drone to report changes in the situation, then withdraw. We'll find you food to replace the heat you have lost. Come, I will assist you. Meanwhile, you have this cat, of course. It's just killed and eaten a pigeon. But the female, her aura, the development is fascinating. Not as powerful as the Bates change, but subtle absorbing. Brother, I insist you sever contact immediately. You are burning. We shall return to the hunt presently. But now let us tend the needs of your garment. Let us eat. The garment is just the human body they're wearing. And it's a little worrisome to think what they may eat. But we shall see. And once again, the juxtaposition of the baby eating. And the baby already has full blonde head of hair, but this must be a dream because that cannot be Mike. Oh, Mike, she's still hungry. She's been hungry since we reached Dover this morning, and my breast sore. And why doesn't she cry? She hasn't made any noise at all except you know what we imagined. Brr, puff. Liz, don't get upset. I am upset. I just feel, I don't know. I'm just scared and nothing's normal. I want to hide under the blankets, and I want Mike, my husband, Mike. Okay. Well, if that's what you want, yes, oh God, please, yes, that's what I want. Okay, you better shield the baby. Close your eyes. Okay, so this definitely was not Mike. There's Miracleman, but this kind of very average guy certainly reminded her of Mike. Kimota. Liz? Mike, oh Jesus. What's happened? You're covered in... Oh, God. What did they do to you? This? Oh. Yeah. It's all right. It doesn't hurt. I'm sorry about my clothes. I'll wash them. Is that the baby? I'm okay. Really, I'm great. Great. No problem. Mike? And where Miracleman is unharmed, godlike, not a hair out of place, Mike is still missing 2 fingers, in tatters, barely survived his encounter with the abomination of the miracle dog. Out like a light. Between you and me, I suspect this one's a bit of a write-off. Been here since when was it? March? Since then, not a glimmer of a response. Never react to you, worm. Never fight back. After those strangers called yesterday, I realized how glad I am you're so withdrawn. I like having you all to myself. Everybody else can leave us alone. Well, might as well leave the poor little bugger to vegetate for another night. At least he's not claiming Social Security. Tuck him in, would you, Trish? There, good night, love. You keep trying for me, eh? I'm not scared. You're just a bully. You can't hurt me. I'm sick of being trapped with you. I'm going to stop playing your games. You wouldn't dare, Bates. I'm warning you. Nurse? Can I speak to the doctor? And she's shocked. No, stop it. You arse-kissing little maggot. Stop this immediately. I'm feeling better now. I'd like to be moved in with some other children. Oh, Jesus. I'll go and tell somebody. Wait there. And I keep talking. See, I've beaten you. I can leave here. I can leave you locked here in the dark alone and forget about you. You're nothing. Nothing but talk. You bloody little bastard. What have you done? What have you done? Doctor! What have you done? Oh, Mike, what are we going to do? My milk's dried up, and I don't know if I should be giving her this powdered stuff yet, but look, she's drained it, and she's still hungry. I'm sorry, I'm not much help. I mean, I just feel so numb. I mean, my hand isn't infected. The skin's even grown back over the wounds, but I mean, I don't know. I just feel like I'm leaving you to handle this completely alone. Mike, you can hardly stand. I know. You can't help, but oh, it's just all the stuff. We have to register the birth, and she's not eating right, and oh God, everything's such a mess. I felt depressed since she was born. When she was inside me, I felt calm whatever happened. It's like my body kept her calm, kept me calm to save her from stress. But now she's gone, and we're two separate people. And I don't count anymore. It's a bit of postpartum depression, but of a slightly different sort. You count to me. This thing will bring us closer together than ever. Liz, are you okay? You look sort of faint. Faint? No. I don't feel faint at all of a sudden. I don't know, maybe it's just talking to you, but all of a sudden I feel really happy. That doesn't add up, does it? Well, maybe you hear about postnatal mood swings and stuff, although this does seem rather... No, forget it. If you're happy, that's what counts. Oh, I am. I'm as happy as when Winter was inside of me. Winter. That's her name. Didn't I tell you? It popped into my head from nowhere. Winter Moran. Oh, Mike, I feel so confident. We'll work things out. It's just a learning process, that's all. Now, there's a suggestion here by these little rings in the baby's crib when she's talking about being apart from the baby, feeling like she doesn't count. Eventually the baby slides the green ring over to touch the yellow, and eventually the baby slides the blue and the red together, and suddenly you have these couplings, and suddenly her mood changes, which suggests the baby is able to, she wasn't controlling her mood, her mother's mood necessarily before that, but she was able to remedy this depression, and suddenly she feels ecstatically happy in a way she was not supposed to be. And then the baby even lifting its hand right here almost seems to be the puppet master. Yeah, but Liz, you seem so changeable. Maybe if we called the doctor. Mike, I've got you and nothing will ever come between us. When you've got a miracle worker in the family, who needs a doctor? And the miracle worker in the family is this baby, not Mike. And what do all children want but to keep their parents together, see them happy? You know, I don't know what I'd do without you, Dr. McCarthy. I know you still can't find out what's up with my waterworks, but I do enjoy our little chin wags. So do I, Miss Grimmond. Well, it makes a change, that's all I can say. Most doctors won't look at you unless you're private. What that bloody woman's done to the National Health Service, it makes my blood boil. Well, we can't have that. My advice is to go home and calm down in front of the Coronation Street. Here's a couple of quid. Get yourself a Guinness or two. Oh, doctor, you shouldn't. Rubbish. Doctor knows best. When they say what that bloody woman's done to the National Health Service, I'm pretty sure that's a reference to Margaret Thatcher. Much like V for Vendetta was basically a follow-up to the Thatcher years in which Moore viewed as a fascist. Doctor, you're an angel in human form, and no mistake. I'll be seeing you next Wednesday then? Yes, of course, next Wednesday. Goodbye, Miss Grimmond. Well, they said they had to eat. Hope the doctor's not on the menu, but doesn't look good. Please to excuse me. Will female Dr. Lear be inspecting our sickness now? Hang on a moment. I'll see if she's ready. And, I told you, it's Dr. McCarthy. I don't know where you've got Lear from. Rebick and Lear, these two names keep bouncing around. Of course, Lear spelled backwards would be real, so who knows. I am mistaken. Please ask if she will inspect us. Yes, hang on, I'm buzzing her. Oh, hello, doctor. I've got a Mr. and Mrs. Smith out here. No, they're new patients. Shall I send them in? Can you tell me more about them? Well, I think they're foreign. They said someone recommended you to them, but they keep getting your name wrong. They asked for a Dr. Lear. I said real. I was wrong about that. Rail. When I said we didn't have one, they asked if we had another female doctor. I mentioned you, and they said, that's who they meant. Shall I send them in, doctor? Doctor? Hello? Dr. McCarthy? What was that? I didn't catch. Kim who? Kim who? Komoda? Kavoom. She is activated. Quickly, brother. Oh, God, a bomb. The IRA. A name like McCarthy, it must be. Oh, God, police. Somebody help. I think McCarthy is Scottish, not Irish. Police. Bombs. Brother, is she? No. We are too late. She is gone. No matter, her existence is established. We will relocate her presently. Come, let us leave this place. The animal is next upon our list. Is she dead? Oh, God, let me through. Dr. McCarthy. Phone ringing. Hello? No? No, I'm afraid she just popped out. There. She'll be out like a light in a moment. She's just lying there gurgling. At last. She's finally drunk enough then. I thought you said the bottles weren't satisfying her at all. How to be a super dad. Oh, they weren't. So I tried her on something else. You know, I'm really tired. I think I'll turn in and get some sleep before she needs feeding again. Sure. What was it that you gave her? Oh, you know, I just tried her on something more substantial. It seemed to do the trick. Tinned food? What? Jesus, Liz. What are you doing? She isn't a week old yet. Well, I don't know. Something just told me it was the right thing to do. Mother's instinct, I suppose. Anyway, she seemed to enjoy it. So what's the harm? Liz, there's 4 empty tins here. Well, she was hungry. Good night, love. I'll try not to wake you when she gets me up in the night. She was hungry. Obviously, the baby Winter communicated to her mom that she wanted this. I dropped the empty cans into the pedal bin, but by the time I've locked up and followed Liz into the bedroom, she's fast asleep. The baby isn't. She's wide awake. Winter. Such a cold and bleak name for such a warm little thing. Christ. I hope Liz is okay. I hope they're both okay. At least Liz seems to have been right about the food. She hasn't thrown up or choked or anything. In fact, she looks happier and healthier than ever. God, she's perfect. We're so proud of our miniaturized computers, microcircuitry, but it's just crude and clumsy next to this. How can anything so wonderfully complex be made so small, so flawless in every detail? Her perfect little fingernails, each with its own tiny fingernail, gripping mine, her perfect little eyes, her perfect little ears, her perfect little mouth, with its perfect little teeth. Well, brother, have you located some trace? I believe so. Some small blue gems that have indications of recent contact with the overanimal. Let us seek further. And vultures picking at the remains of these German guys who were ripped to shreds by Miracleman. Lifeless humans. Did the animal do this? No, the bodies are not slashed and torn in the manner of the black headless human we discovered. What did this had no claws? Thus the Senor Cuckoo was responsible, as with the dismembered body found at the deserted ranch. Therefore, where is the animal? If it should surprise us while it's in change form, fear not, brother, I have found it. It is no longer capable of surprises. And there's the remnants of Miracle Dog at his feet, who reverted back to a puppy. Instead of buzzards, there's a much smaller scavenger, halo of flies. I see. Then there is one less cuckoo to contain. This is truth. Also, there is no reason to postpone our final interview. The male Moran? Yes. Moran will not evade us as the female did. By my original face, to think that a routine Firedrake sweep could engender so many difficulties. Worry not. This tedious game will shortly be concluded. Now, if we are to return to the island of Great England, we must deck ourselves in more appropriate garments. Let us do it now. And that is the end of book 2. Excellent. And this answers my question. Young Miracleman, 1957, story by the original writer, Alan Moore, art by John Ridgway, and Miracleman, the Guerneville Flood. I was wondering what Kat Ronwood, her involvement was with this, because she was credited at the beginning of the book. Of course, she was involved in Eclipse Comics, which was the American reprinter of Miracleman, and I believe made it color because it started out as black and white. And that's what her involvement was. I thought it may have been some sort of editing, translation of something, but here it is that she wrote this story with pencil art by Chuck Austin and inks by Al Gordon. In February 1986, the Russian River crested at 50 feet into Guerneville, California, causing catastrophic flooding. That was 1986. Now that happens every day, every year, all over the country. Global warming, kids. Miracleman's publishers' facilities were heavily damaged, delaying production and forcing issue number 8 to be released as a reprint feature rather than continuing book 2. The following framing sequence ran alongside reprints of 1950s Mick Anglo Marvelman stories. Marvelman combats the Electric Terrier. Yes, Terrier, not Terror. And Marvelman and the Spanish Armada. Left is Chuck Austin's cover to Miracleman number 8, which would be the Spanish Armada. Interesting. So this was a result of a flood. And this is just an addendum. The end of book 2 was just a couple of pages ago, and so we'll go ahead and read this, but sadly that is the end of the Red King story for now. 1957, Young Miracleman. Tick tack, tick tack, tack tack, tack tack, tack, ching ching. She's typing. And she's rather appealing to him, especially as she turns around. A little bit of a grin. Miracleman. Woof. This, of course, is young Miracleman, who was killed in the explosion, the nuclear armed satellite created by the British government to dispatch of Miracleman, young Miracleman and Kid Miracleman. Those two survived, Mike Moran and Kid Miracleman, who was Johnny Bates. But young Miracleman did not make it. He has a ridiculous name as well. Dickie Dauntless, I believe. Very little text. Very nice art. Pluto welcomes careful drivers. Immediately there's an accident. And he just flies in to meet with this queen or princess of Pluto. Takes her necklace and stashes it and flies away. And they're angry, but they can't do anything to stop him. Okay. Miracleman. Oof. Cute story. Okay, he flew all the way to Pluto as young Miracleman, stole a necklace from the princess of Pluto, an ice necklace, came back to Earth to present it to this woman and impress her, And when he arrives, it's already melted through his bag and is nothing but water. She has no idea that it's plutonium water, not plutonium, plutonian. And scram is the sound effect of the door slamming. Back on his little motorbike with the sidecar, put, 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 and off. Very good story. Very entertaining. Now, this is, I believe, Kat Ronwood's story. Yeah, and she's put herself in the story, perhaps. Tonight, the sky is lit by a singular star, the bright star that was once Emil Gargunza, an evil man who gave me life and brought me dreams. No, I can't go through with it. Woo. Stop myself right on the verge of committing the two biggest sins I know, being dishonest and underestimating the public. Remember that period during the mid-70s when it seemed like every third Marvel comic was an unannounced reprint? I resented them, of course, but I hated it more when they tried to pretend the reprints were flashbacks. Like that issue of Doctor Strange where Doc is riding around on a big white horse looking for an ancient one's ego or something equally occult, when all of a sudden, Rambo! He goes into this bit about, the ancient one, how well I recall our first meeting, and they hit us with the Steve Ditko reprints. Rambo! Didn't fool me one bit. I knew Deadline Doom when I saw it. I think you do too. So that's why I'm going to give you the straight story. As you know, the Eclipse offices and the entire town of Guerneville were flooded this spring when the Russian River overflowed. Nobody was hurt, but one of the casualties was the Miracleman schedule. It got shot to hell. Nice. There's Eclipse Comics. Flooded. There's Popeye the Sailor Man and a little wooden boat and a shark fin. So this is actually a pretty funny story. We're not running these 1955 Mick Anglo stories because you demanded it, Pilgrim. We're running them because we desperately need the time to get back on schedule. Too honest? Okay. Miracleman, having just killed Gargunza, pauses to reflect on his past. Ah, Gargunza, he muses. How well I recall the dreams you gave me, the dreams of years gone by. That was a moldy oldie. But since you've been real swell about it, here's another sharp Miracleman pinup by Chuck and Mr. Al Gordon. Okay. Eyes right. There's still another Golden Age grave for you to peruse. All right, next issue. Chuck and I will be back, along with the original writer, which obviously said Alan Moore in the original script for this, but they've changed it for Marvel's sake, for the continuation of our regular storyline. And now here's a free bonus for all you loyal Eclipse fans. Just turn the page and meet. I work for the guy, for crying out loud. He can tell me who Rebek and Lear are. Might as well face it, you're addicted to love. Robert Palmer's song playing on the boombox with a wire hanger as an antenna. A dog. I'm not sure if this is meant to be Alan Davis with the blonde hair, and that's it. That is the end of book 2. Rather quick. And then you get a lot of filler over the following pages. Some by necessity. A lot of the original artwork from Warrior 13. Alan Davis's original artwork. And a cover painting by Mick Austin. So on and so forth. Cool stuff, but that is the end of the original story for the Red King. And not much need in flipping through the rest of this. As you can see, I can flip far ahead. You see preliminary pencils by Chuck Austin, and then finishes. And color version for Eclipse. It's very nice. And some more color covers. I've used a couple of these for thumbnails, including this one in the corner here, in the right hand corner. Beautiful. By Alex Ross. And Alan Davis, Mark Farmer, Ronnie Del Carmen, Alex Malave, Alan Davis, Mark Farmer, Lauren Martin, John Romita Jr. A lot of people in the mainstream do not like John Romita Jr. I do not like this one, but I typically am just fine with John Romita Jr. He had to establish a different style from his legendary father and successfully did so and became immensely popular and immensely prolific, I should say. You've got Dale Keown and Jason Keith, Dave Gibbons and Paul Mounts, and Adam Kubert and Jason Keith, respectively, in those covers. And anything else? Rick Veitch and Rain Burrito for this image of Miracleman number 9 from 2014. And then again, clockwise, you've got David Marquez and Edgar Delgado, Adi Granoff, and then Paul Renault. And then you've got Rick Veitch and Rain Burrito with Kid Miracleman hovering evilly over Johnny Bates. And then you've got variant cover art by Miko Sayon and Paul Mounts on the left and Joe Quinones on the right. And then this is the cover for the Red King Syndrome collection that we saw at the very beginning of the prior episode by Alan Davis, Mark Farmer, and Laura Martin. And that is the back cover. And that is it for the Red King Syndrome. Pretty fantastic story. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much for listening, and please feel free to leave a comment or subscribe or tell a friend to subscribe. And thanks very much. I'll be back. I'll have to purchase another one of these books to continue this reading from Comixology. But thanks very much for listening, and I'll be back soon with another part of Alan Moore's Miracleman saga. Thank you. Goodbye.